Hi, it's Dawn. Welcome back. I recently returned from a trip to Paris, and of course when you're in Paris you've got to pick up, well, you don't got to, but I wanted to pick up some Sennelier watercolors and went to the store there in, I think it's the 6th arrondissement, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, wasn't far from our hotel, so we walked over and I grabbed some. I've got enough to do two different sets of swatches, but on this swatch I'm going to do Rose Opera, Light Yellow Ochre, Cad Yellow Light, Green Earth, Turquoise Green, and Indigo. And for anybody wanting to know the pigments, it's PR81:1 for Rose Opera. The Ochre is PY150. The Cad Yellow Light is PY35. Green Earth is PBR7. The Turquoise Green is PG50. And the Indigo is PB151 and PBK7. Oh, and PB60. Wow, that's got 3. Okay, well, here we go. We're just going to swatcheroo and not go too crazy with this Rose Opera because it is a bold color. And I always like to get a really out of my comfort zone red, which this technically is more of a violet, I guess, but they were out of the red that I wanted, so I got this one. Met a lovely group of ladies while we were there, and they were from North Carolina, and they were also buying Sennelier watercolors, so shout out to my fellow watercolor friends. Hope you made it home safe. And that is a beautiful opera. I didn't put a whole lot in my palette. I'm using this little rose palette here. I love this little thing. It's just so cute. But I didn't put a lot because I wasn't real sure how quickly I'm going to be using this color. I like it as a glazing color sometimes. But anyway, this is just a swatching video. If you ever get a chance to go to the Sennelier store, it is unlike any other art store I think you'll ever be in, because it is about as tiny a store as you can get. It's not, the aisles aren't even a body width wide, and everything is stacked to the rooftop, and the ceilings in that store were probably at least 12 feet. They could have been 15. They were significantly tall, and you know, there's ladders, kind of like a Harry Potter situation with really tall ladders to get up to wherever you could get what you needed. Well, somebody would get what you needed. And frequently things were out of your reach, but that's okay. Okay, this color is swatching out. I mean, it's the watering. What am I trying to say? I don't know. As you get down in the strength, it is really pale. It's really pretty. I think I want this a tad darker. And this, I'm going to try to go just super pale. I'm using a size 5, but this is a really, really old brush, and it's just a round brush, but it's a comfortable size. All right, now let's move on to Light Yellow Ochre. PY150, I think that was, which is a very common color. I try to make this like the full strength, very little water, just enough water to. These are coming straight out of the tube, so they're super juicy, of course. I'm not even sure I know what their binder is, what Sennelier uses. I gotta stop and see what they use. Made in France, yes. Pigment, PB, okay. It's probably on their website. It does not say, it does not say what their binder is, but this is a really nice, straight out of the tube, a really nice formulation. It's not too sticky. It's quite like it. Sometimes right out of the tube, the binder is, it separates from the pigment and you got to remix them and excuse me. This feels quite nice. Oh yeah. I tend to operate in this medium. I don't know about you, but I tend to operate in this medium range here. The extremes are not usually where I live, although, you know, it can be used for shadows and highlights and what have you, but medium tones are what I gravitate to when I'm looking at a color. I kind of look at those first. Yeah, I like that color a lot. It's a nice ochre. It's not too orangey. What's the word I'm looking for? Earthy. It's earthy without being it's warm. It's just the right amount of warmth in my view, but you know, your mileage may vary. Let's see how light she goes. She gets pretty pale. Well, she borders on a pastel there. You wouldn't expect that from an ochre, would you? Nope. All right, moving on. Cad yellow. Oof. This one came to play. There is yellow. Bam. That is no joke. What I do is I get a bunch of pigment on my brush for that first cube. Very little water, and then without adding any more pigment, I just added a little bit of water until I see how it's going. And I just added a little more pigment just now. But that, by not grabbing any more pigment, just adding water straight to the brush and going to the next cube, the next swatch, it really lets you control the color and not have to go back and say, too much water, not enough water. Now, it's not a perfect foolproof plan, because your brush and your heavy-handedness or lack thereof, this is going to drive me crazy. I have my medium mat over here, and my bracelets are hitting it. There we go. Okay, and then she goes and does that. Too much pigment. Well, you know, what are you going to do? Move some up here. Oh, that's a nice bright yellow. Back some of this off and make a mess. Yep, made a mess. It's okay. All right, next we're going to move on to Green Earth. I'm very excited about this color. I usually love earthy greens, and I'm really hoping that this one isn't. I think I got too much water in here. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, we're going to start over. I'm going to dry the brush and try this again. Nope. Oh, bummer. This is not a very pigmented color at all. Darn. But that's why we do this, right? The other reason why I bought these over there is because the cost of these is about half price. Even with the conversion from the dollar to the euro, it's first of all, it's a very French thing to do, right? You go to France, you eat a croissant, you go to the Eiffel Tower, and you buy French paints. But never mind the fact that the expenses. I think I paid about $10 a tube, roughly, for most of these. Different series, of course, different price, and I'm just roughing it. But boy, this is a mess. I'm gonna have to come back and fix this because I just do not have the gradation here at all. But what are you gonna do? So you don't mind experimenting with colors and picking out colors that you're like, well, I don't know how. I was hoping this green earth would be. She is not me pigmented at all. And I've used more of her pigment in this swatch than I did any of these other ones. But that's okay. Yeah, she's really kind of a pale girl. She didn't have much to her at all. What's her pigment again? PBR 7. Feels like I'm just getting the same color green on all of them. This is not what I was hoping for. Oh well. She just isn't going to have much saturation at all. I'm going to pull a little bit more direct out of the tube and see if I can. The lid almost went into the floor. That would have been disaster. And she's real gloopy. See how gummy it is? Like the gum arabic or the honey or whatever they use. I should have looked it up before I started the video, but it's okay. It's just real gloppy. Oh, I don't like that at all. Okay. De-influence. Don't get green earth. 213. It's not great. At least not this tube. All right, moving on to turquoise green. Ooh. Loving that. Oh yeah, it's pretty. See how I can charge that and add to the turquoise green where the other one was just gloppy and loppy. Yeah, it's official. Gloppy and loppy. Okay, no more pigment. Used it all. I'm using 100% cotton paper. I think it's important to use good paper. Good paper makes all that. I've been an artist for on and off for 20 years watercoloring, and I'll tell you, in the beginning I focused so much on my brush and having the right pigments, and little did I know, and if I skimped somewhere, which I did, I skimped on the paper, and little did I know how much I was cheating myself out of a good experience by not having the right paper. But live and learn. Now I only use good paper. Well, I mostly use good paper. I still buy the cheap stuff, but I know where and when to use it. And when you're swatching, that's not the time, because you want this as close to your actual use so that you know what those colors are going to look like. Oh yeah, that's a really pretty color. If you like turquoise green 843, that's for you, sennelier. It's a nice formulation. It does not appear to granulate, and lots of pigmentation in it. And in my book, that's a win. I don't care who you are, because you can always water it down to get, you know, these mid tones and these lighter tones. It's really hard, like this green over here, to bulk it up if it's not if the pigmentation isn't there. I mean, you can. I'm sure with glazes and what have you, you can make it work, but it's just more work. All right, last but not least, we'll do some indigo. And this looks really potent. And it is, and we love that about indigo. Indigo might be one of my favorite blues. Although I did pick up, and it will be in my next video, I picked up, it's called Blue Sennelier. See that? Oh, come on, you can focus. Nope, the camera doesn't want to focus. Goodness gracious, and there's a glare. Well, you have to trust me. Also in French, it's called De la Rouge, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to swatching that, because other than indigo in the blue family, phthalo is one of my favorite colors, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that looks. Well, that ran out of pigment fast, didn't it? Okay, let's get some more in here, but not too much. Yeah, I love indigo. I love indigo work. I went to Japan about a year or so ago, and a year and a half ago. Man, we got to see some of those gorgeous indigo work. They really know what they're doing. But they've been artists in painting for thousands of years. I mean, their history's so rich. Okay. I'm struggling to find a medium on this one. See, this should be the darkest, and this ended up being the darkest. So let's see if we can find a happy medium in here somewhere. Yeah, that looks good. And then just whatever's left in the brush, plus a bunch of water for this last one. All right. I think we've got a swatch. All right, so we'll be back with part 2, my second set of colors, and thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.